War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by TagMeADate. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report podcast on a somber Tuesday after dark, where we are here to celebrate the lives of not only The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Rotundum, whatever we want to call him, and Terry Funk. So glad everyone's here, tuned in. We wanted to do a little tribute. I think with Bray, it hits a little harder. Kind of Terry Funk, we kind of knew was coming. He's been fighting for quite some time. But Bray,
Yeah. I mean, what do you say that hasn't already been said? This, it's a big loss to the wrestling community. It's a big loss in general because it's such a young guy. 36. It's a little weird being born in 1987, seeing somebody who died in it was like 1987 to 2023, and we're both 36. Man, this shouldn't be happening, especially with the news that came out, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was
worse.
Yeah, but it's like even when the tweet first went out, like you were almost hoping for fake news or like, no, it's not. Like I had to reread that at least 10 different times to like actually comprehend what I was reading, because my mind didn't want to think, wait, we're talking about Bray? Like we're not talking about somebody,
Vince thought I was kidding when I texted him.
I was driving. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I woke up to that.
That's a hell of a way to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all saw Booker T's reaction as he was getting the news, like as it was
Yeah,
happening.
live on
Yeah.
there. That's a bad way to find out.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, they had to go to a commercial break because of it. By the way, welcome back to the show, Eric. We haven't seen him in quite a long time, so happy to have you back. And of course, the chairman of the board is back with us.
Oh my God,
Sam, welcome back, my friend.
Cheer.
Love it. It's been waiting a long time for it. Welcome back. It's been too long. Facebook user, I was honestly shocked about both. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Funk to me wasn't the biggest shock, but Bray, of course. I mean,
Yeah, Funk was having a bunch of issues, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had kind of seen that the last couple of pictures of him had been kind of maybe in a wheelchair, and Nick talking about going to visit him at like a like a senior living kind of facility or something for people with Alzheimer's or dementia. Yeah, he had been going through some pretty rough problems, as you do when you get that age.
Yeah.
But the real shocking thing is to hear, not too much later about Bray Wyatt's passing.
Only a day.
Yeah, and then to further hear that, he wasn't in the best physical shape either. The idea that, he might have been on the road to recovery to come back and wrestle, it doesn't seem like that's the case like it doesn't seem like he would have been healthy. Had he lived, he wouldn't have been healthy enough to be cleared to wrestle, especially if they were telling him to wear a defibrillator.
And that thing that sucks is he left it in the car.
Yeah, he left it in the car, went and took a nap, and that was
the car after his doctor's appointment, and he went up took a nap, and JoJo heard the machine go off like an hour later, and the defibrillator was not on him.
Oh yeah, she heard the alarm kept going off.
Yeah, JoJo's mom performed CPR on him, and he was pronounced DOA before he even got to the hospital or whatever. He was gone.
Right.
But the machine was in the car for the doctor's appointment he had following up from a hospital visit the week earlier. He brought it with him to the doctor. He did not bring it back inside when he went upstairs.
David Roscoe was shocked like everyone else about Bray's passing, and also points out that Eddie Guerrero died at 39 in 2005. He was shocked when he heard he died from a friend in a school bus. I mean, listen, that's another one we were all. This one hits like Guerrero in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
And it just sucks. And it's so young and so much talent. You talk about a full, all around total package of a superstar. It was Bray Wyatt. I mean, he didn't need to be the strongest or stockiest, but when it came to character development, mic skills, in-ring work, being able to tell a story, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. He had it all going for him. Even back with the original Wyatt family and the whole cult following, Waylon Mercy kind of thing, but he made it work. It was great. And then to transition to the Fiend and the Mr. Rogers type of character, I mean, it was. Well, we all know how I always felt about Bray, but it sucked.
He was a beast. He was a fucking monster. He was amazing.
Yeah,
in every way. I mean,
I'd argue even like I know the name was not good, the Husky Harris, but the gimmick itself was actually pretty decent. The tank with the Ferrari engine,
right? That's true.
Yeah, and he was NXT, and then he was main roster with that Nexus thing, and then, not as that fell apart, and then got reinvented and reinvented in a way that was like, at first you go, oh, NXT is just dusting off the old Waylon Mercy gimmick for somebody, but he showed right exactly. They never explored. Because that was like Max Cady. What's that movie? Cape Fear.
Cape Fear.
When they tried doing it with Waylon Mercy, that was the idea because the movie had just come out, and I don't think they really ever explored it much past the couple matches that he did as that character. No, sorry, David, not familiar with that.
Yeah, I can't say.
But you know, he took it and he, like, you know, it was the swamp preacher, it was the family, it was the cult, it was the whatever, and then, you know, he changed it and modified it and tweaked it, and then completely reinvented it with the Fiend, and then completely reinvented it again. You know, with the Howdy thing and tying.
And who knows how many more times he could have done that in
I mean, infinitely. We don't know what the end. I don't know if anybody aside from him knew what the end game of the Wyatt thing, the Wyatt 6 thing was, or any of that. So
I wonder if they're gonna let Bo continue as Howdy and kind of.
I don't know. Where's that going to? Yeah.
I have no idea where it would go.
Yeah,
but...
or Alexa Bliss. Also, I was going to say.
I think that'd be good for his family, for financially, to keep that going, so he could still make something off of that.
Right. Well, and I will say this to that point too. You got to give kudos to WWE because they have all this merchandise that was unreleased that they released, and 100% is going to the family. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to do more than that too. But,
and credit to them for them doing an amazing tribute on SmackDown.
No, I'm so glad you said it, because I was sitting there and think about the amount of time that they had to put this together and scrap everything that they had planned at the time. The job that they were able to do from start to finish of that show was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, the package, I mean, we always say their production team is just the most incredible people out there. What they were able to put together with all the packages, having everyone come out, the rocking chair, the lantern, and then at the very end, the fireflies. Right.
That rocking chair broke me, man.
Yeah, it broke a lot of people. It's something as simple as just an empty rocking chair, and it hit hard. You know?
Well, then to have, like you said, bring Eric Rowan back, which it really sucks that the only time this guy gets called back by a company is when one of his friends dies. Like, I don't know what,
because Brody's
what we're doing.
Was really similar too, in that it was like a unexplained, thing, the health thing.
Too spooky.
Well, it was a similar situation. It was a heart condition.
Yeah.
Right.
No, his was a lung condition.
Oh, you're right.
But he had that his entire life. Something exacerbated it in that time frame.
They're saying COVID for Bray. Yeah, COVID is what exacerbated it.
Yeah.
But he had to have some type of pre-existing heart condition in some way, shape, or form for it to do, because the last report that TMZ posted or whatever, I think I posted it in the group or whatever, they said it was his lower valve wasn't working.
Oh.
Properly.
Yeah, that
doesn't happen unless you have some type of condition to begin with. You don't just get that from having something. So that heart attack was brought on because of something that was already there.
Big shout out to the House of Black as well for paying at All In. Basically, the precursor to the House of Black was obviously the Wyatt family. And, it was just amazing to see them bring out. I wish the lantern was a little more forefront, more in the middle, a little larger, but they really did it. And, Malachi, to that, and in gimmick, but still, showing love was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Those guys for doing the right thing, and, WWE not trying to sue nobody for just showing love.
Yeah, no, this is you're seeing it at every wrestling show. Everyone's doing some sort of tribute or some sort of acknowledgement, and it's good to see because it's a family. Wrestling is a family. No matter who you work for, MJF will tell you. Everyone's sitting here, either an AEW guy, WWE guy, and they're all sitting there laughing, having the time of their lives because they're friends with each other and they're rooting each other on, and the better the product is, the more money they make.
They're all succeeding. It's great.
Right. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. So I'm glad to see that's going on. We've been focusing a lot on Bray. we should talk a little bit about Terry Funk.
Yeah, for sure.
Tara, okay, I know this is going to sound silly, but with all that shit that Funk has been through, I honestly thought that man was immortal. I mean, listen, he pretty much was. I mean, he's been through, I mean, some of the most brutal matches I've ever seen, he's been a part of. You know.
And he was still doing it at what, 60, 70?
Yeah. He was still doing house shows too and all that kind of shit. But anyone want to?
The tag team titles with Mick Foley.
Yeah.
You got to give the Funker his props. 2,529 matches.
That's insane.
Holy shit.
1,341, which is basically 53% of all of his matches. And he had 312 draws at 12%.
Jeez.
And he was hardcore before hardcore was a word in wrestling.
Before hardcore was cool. Before hardcore was something that we all thought about.
Yeah.
He was hardcore. And it meant something to him. And his job was
honestly, like, look at his career, right? It's unbelievable and all, like, accolades and championships. And you look at his NWA World title win, but I'd honestly argue that his second ECW one, the one at Barely Legal 97, as that show came to an end, was just as important as the NWA title, winning that ECW World title.
Yeah.
But it was important to the industry. It was important to the wrestling industry. Terry Funk being middle-aged and crazy for 40 years. You know, he was middle-aged and crazy for seemingly ever, and then eventually, as Mick Foley said, he just became damn old. But,
I mean, that I Quit match against Flair, among many other things. You know,
my favorite thing of Terry Funk ever is
he was in Roadhouse.
He did his moonsault. It was always like a side botched moonsault. It's like Flair's top rope fall, you know, like it's on the side. And it's just classic Funk, classic Flair. And it's just amazing. That guy, he put everybody over. The most soft-spoken individual. He sounded like he was dying every time he spoke, but he would beat the living shit out of you. So it's just like, talk about a dichotomy.
For sure.
Talk about a balance, you know, like
and Vince, you mentioned Roadhouse. He was also in one of Steve and I's favorite movies, Over the Top.
Oh yes, that's a great film.
Right? The arm wrestling shit.
Yep. Great movie.
Fucking love that.
Hell yeah. Just to get the comment here on the screen, David Ross was Daryl Kyle. He's a baseball player, passed away of a heart attack in Chicago. He played for the St. Louis Cardinals. I do when you say that now. Give me more context. I do remember being in high school in 2002 and hearing about him passing away. I don't remember.
Was he also extremely young?
Yeah, he was he was
30s or something. If I recall,
he was
that.
a baseball pitcher. He was pitching
goodness.
in the major leagues at the time, so it was like it came as a shock. I think it was like one of those things where he was taking those like ephedra weight loss things that you can't take anymore, and because you can have a heart attack, and he had a heart attack.
You know, I vaguely do remember that actually.
Because those things immediately, and I mean, if you remember TNA, WWE, everybody had an ad for that stuff. Stacker 2, ephedra, whatever. It was like, oh god! And
don't forget about Ico Pro.
Yeah,
the amount of pay-per-views sponsored by Stacker.
But all it was like it was an amphetamine that fucks your heart up.
Commercials. Ugh.
I hear Stacker 2. I think of Taz saying Joey Numbers. My pal Joey.
Oh yeah, because they had there was like a truckload of Stacker 2 or something. Yeah, it was like a Oh my god! But you know,
not for nothing.
But these right on top of one,
but
a
I
day
digress.
apart. These deaths and there was something going around like 2023 hasn't been kind at all to wrestlers in general. Like
no, not at all.
And then Bob Barker passed away. Who's not a wrestler, but like he's an entertainer.
WWE
it's just another
to him too.
Yeah, that was nice. It's just sad, you know.
Jericho.
Definitely give love to their families. Terry Funk, the Black Baron, Chainsaw Charlie, Dr. Know-It-Alls, the Texan, fucking the truth. That's my generation.
Yeah. And he was, and he wrestled. I mean, like you said, he put everybody over. He wrestled forever. He wrestled multiple, he wrestled through the NWA all the way through. Like the NWA really was kind of not a thing by the time WCW, took the belt and whatever. So then he helped create ECW. He helped legitimize ECW rather by winning that world title. And then just continue. I mean, he even after that, he had those programs with Mick Foley.
Tag team champs at WrestleMania.
And that one, and then didn't they wrestle each other at one point?
Yep.
Yeah.
Satchel ass. I just remember him calling.
Ever seen ever? Him and Foley together are brutal.
They beat the, and I've also seen Terry Funk against Jerry Lawler live a few times, and they beat the shit out of each other.
And then there was that Terry Funk versus Bret Hart match.
Oh, from Beyond the Mat.
Yeah. From Beyond the Mat.
Oh, of course, and that's great. That was another one where
of Terry's retirement matches, but
I was going to say it was a retirement match, and Terry put over Bret Hart, and it's like, okay, Terry, you did that, and now you're wrestling again. I mean, that guy literally didn't stop until he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Till the wheels completely came off.
Seriously.
But then the other thing that comes to mind is you got to remember that like one of like the biggest Terry Funk memories in my mind, just like of modern era, is like how scared shitless he was, because you could see the real fear on his face when the whole Hell in the Cell match happened between Mankind and Undertaker.
Oh yeah, that was
like he lost his fucking shoe running into the ring. He
got so he lost his shoe running in the ring. He lost his they were trying to like kill time basically to see if Mick Foley was dead or not during this.
Jerry Lawler thought he was.
Match. Yeah,
Terry didn't want Mick to do the spot.
Exactly.
Chaos.
What?
And then they had him. Okay. Then they had him. Terry was like, Undertaker, like choke slam me to like kill time.
Yeah.
Like they did a spot. He like set up a spot. He's like, you gotta choke slam me. You do it now. And then he choke slam him, and his fucking other shoe flies off, and he's got the biggest, longest crew socks, like 90s crew socks you've ever seen in your life. They were like fucking stockings hanging off of his feet. It was classic.
Oh, Vince, I was going to ask you, for those of us on the panel that don't know, you had a little Terry Funk story of your own.
Oh, geez. All right. For those of you who haven't heard the story before, this was several years ago in Newburgh, New York. Well, I'll tell you two of them. One of them was in Poughkeepsie, New York. And before the show, as my duties as a ring announcer is to walk around and get everybody's entrance music, that day, Terry Funk asked for Desperado. And I wrote down Desperado, and I took it back to the boss man. Some of you know boss man. Here's not the big boss man, but the boss of the company. I spoke to him. I said, Terry wants Desperado. He goes, this is an indie show, and I'm putting this on DVD. I can't use Desperado. Like, I will literally have to pay so much that it wouldn't be worth it to use Desperado. I could get sued if I didn't clear it, and if I don't have the rights to it, and then I publish it, and they sue me, we're not going to be able to show. So whatever. Long story short, we get to Terry's match. They play Terry's generic WWE production music theme as he comes out to the ring. And the first thing he gets in the ring, and he gets right in I'm the ring announcer. I'm like 20-something years old. He goes, where the fuck is Desperado? And I was like, it's like they couldn't pay for it. So during the middle of that match, he's wrestling Jerry Lawler. He takes a chair and he whips it at me and the timekeeper, and I had to run away. Yeah. And then the second story real quick was in Newburgh, New York. He was also about to wrestle Jerry Lawler. Here's the thing. I was told Jerry Lawler, Terry Funk are going to be coming out. The segment is that you're going to be interviewing them. You're Mean Gene. You have the microphone. You're going to hold the microphone for Terry. When Terry talks, you're going to hold the microphone for Jerry when Jerry talks. Nobody told Terry Funk that was going to happen. So Jerry's out in the ring. I'm holding the microphone. He's talking. Terry Funk comes out, madder than a wet hen, as he always did. I put the microphone. I'm just like, and he takes it. I have it in this, like, I'm there. I'm literally, he knows what I'm doing. I'm just supposed to interview him. He takes the microphone from me, and in one fell swoop, takes the microphone in one hand, and the other one just comes in with a big overhand right smack, open-handed, on my face. Wham! And I just go, like I must have had the most shocked face, because it's a little different when you don't know it's coming, right? Like if you don't know you're getting slapped.
What did that man say to the face? Smack.
It was very, and that, so I didn't, so here's what I didn't do. I didn't bump. I didn't roll out of the ring. I didn't gig. I didn't blade. I didn't do anything. I just sat there like, oh, this fucking guy slapped me. So he gave me another one. Bang! In the fucking face. I was like, all right, I'm getting out of the ring. All right.
Did you take the second bump by any chance?
You did it.
Not take, I think I was in the moment, was just too shocked to take a bump. Like, and you can't. Here's the other thing. They were like, "Oh, you should have taken a bump." You can't take a bump from a slap. I'm not Stephanie McMahon. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like that shit.
You're not getting slapped by Stephanie.
That's right. She has the superpower slap. Yeah.
No, that's did his whole career in the ring. He no-sold anything. Like a
dude,
fucking.
In my mind, I was like, "Do I have to fight this old man? Like, what am I doing right now? Like, I'm in the middle of a show. I can't just like fight this old man." So I just left the ring. Yeah, and then the next night, to make sure that I knew how to sell, they had Frankie Arion hit me with one of the tag belts. That didn't hurt so much because I knew it was coming. Getting slapped by Terry Funk in the fucking face twice within about 5 seconds of each other. Whew, this thing's a little.
But at the end of the day, no one can take that away from you. Man.
Listen, that's who has that story that they got the shit smacked out of them by Terry Funk. I mean, a lot of people get smacked by Terry Funk, but not in that manner. Yeah.
I think it's time we shift some gears.
Oh man.
And I have so much to say about this show.
That was a great match.
What a show.
I was the only one on the panel that was right about that match.
Let me tell you. Forget the tag team match. Although it was fantastic. And let's not lose sight of the fact that they not only opened the show, but they also closed the show.
Yeah, appropriate.
But that main event, we talk about the bloodline and we talk about storyline and how great storyline has to be for in a match. It's so important as much as the wrestling. This fucking match had everything you could possibly want and then some. It told an amazing story. It gave you comic relief. There were many times in that match. It pulled on every emotion. You were rooting for one. You were rooting for the other. You didn't know where to go. The false finishes, the fucking hot potato with the steel chair, and then Cole doing the Guerrero gig, and then MJF wrapping it on his head, going like this. I mean,
the double pin.
The double
clothesline, double pin,
and
even post match,
the extra 5 minutes.
The answer is no. We're in Wembley fucking Stadium. We finish this and we go until it's finished. Like it just had everything, and then is he gonna go with Roddy and the New Kingdom? Is he gonna stay loyal to MJF? Like it just had everything, and then the match ends. And now you don't know where it's going to go with the two. And then it winds up working out. And they're the tag team champion. Like everything about it. I don't think you could have a more perfect match, in my opinion.
This whole angle, man, went way beyond my expectations.
Absolutely. I agree.
I didn't expect it to be this good. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but to be this good, took it to a whole nother level.
Yes, and it was good. It wasn't that good.
Really?
It just wasn't.
Really?
Too many. How many times are we going to see them fucking hug it out? This is a hold on. Now, listen, the whole point was leading up to this to see a little something different. I agree. Definitely a fucking phenomenal match. A little too many false finishes. I think the AEW brand is about false finishes. finishers mean shit in this company. They mean absolutely shit. It just, I think they just need to tone it down a little bit. I love the story between the two. I get it. But why did Roddy come out, right? Do some shit, leave for 20 seconds, come back out and do the exact same shit he did 20 seconds before that? It's like, you don't need that. You already did it. It's overdone. Less is more. We already know
made the list.
Thank you.
Kind of like Moxley
We already know that the Kingdom is going to get the ROH tag titles. We know that. It's already a done deal. Before it even happened, it's fucking done. That's the idea. They're putting them over. I get that. Then we're going to see the same fucking match between these two guys again, just to put MJF over again. We've seen this. I don't want to keep seeing the same shit over. It's like watching Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. It took a fucking tractor, an excavator to lift the ring up to make it interesting again because we saw it 42 fucking times. I don't want it to get there. Again, still a good match, a good way to end it. So I want MJF evil. I want him fucking heel.
I'm starting to enjoy this new MJF.
No, because he's gonna flip on it any moment. We're just fucking waiting for it. That's what it is. That's the whole point. You're waiting for that moment.
But what if he doesn't?
Listen, what the fuck? This is throwing fucking beers, signing autographs, and throwing toys for what? For nothing? For nothing at all?
Sam.
Come on, man.
He's our scumbag.
He's still our scumbag.
He's our scumbag. He pulled the ring out and he put it back. He didn't use it. That MJF would never fucking do that.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Adam Cole has abs. He grew abs in 3 weeks. How much did he pay for the ab roller? This is fucking crazy. This is bullshit. All right.
Hey, at least he's in shape. Everybody complained about the motherfucker not being in shape for so long.
I don't want to fucking admit it, but you know I'm right. Too many false finishes. Roddy was there doing the same shit twice. Something should have happened to carry the story. We just saw this shit on Collision, on Dynamite. Then we saw it again. And then we're going to see it again in a fucking week. Come on. Give me...
I thought all the false finishes were hilarious. I loved all the false finishes. I thought that was awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my god. No, I think that, listen, Roddy.
I created a demon.
Yeah, I don't know why you helped him install this fucking thing. You've ruined all of our lives.
Fantastic.
But Roddy, listen, that guy Roddy.
You button on us all too. Shit.
Oh, I know he's got the ultimate power. Roddy Strong does nothing for me. Sorry, bud, he just doesn't.
He doesn't. You're right. But the point is to get him over because in the ring he could fucking work. And you got to give him something, right? Give him a gimmick, give him some TV time. But he literally did the segment twice. It wasn't effective the first time. Clearly had to do it again. And they still had the same fucking result that we have already seen.
All right, but let me ask you this. Even if what you're saying is true, you cannot tell me that match start to finish was not completely entertaining and enjoyable to watch. Even if it's a match we've seen, there were things that were different about the match, and the fact that it was part of such a big show.
Bro, name 3 things that were different in the match. Give me 3.
Roddy giving the low blow.
The hot potato with the chair.
The hot potato with the chair. The double clothesline pin. Plenty of shit.
There was some Panama Sunrise. I don't know. Like, I guess the Panama Sunrise isn't his finisher. Is that what it is?
Well, it normally is, but he kicked out.
Okay, you want something different? The Panama Sunrise on the referee. That's never happened.
Who took it very well, by the way.
Vince, you're absolutely right. No, it's not his finisher. He has to do it 7 times.
It's the boom. Is it the boom thing? I don't know. I really don't know.
Cool. Then don't call it a finish. It's not a finish. It makes no sense at all.
You the referee for about 5 minutes.
And the referee
it's a referee.
The fucking referee got up afterwards. It's called a finish. He still counted.
But it wasn't a pin.
And that typically only happens during a big match, like a Wembley Stadium, 82,000 fucking crowd people.
Yeah.
But I think
I would have never been able to have taken that.
We were all expecting somebody to turn on somebody at this show. And the fact that they ended the show, like, it's just a different kind of, because then if Max pulls out the ring and hits him and turns on him, and then MJF wins, and we're just back to MJF, the same MJF we've known since AEW started, it would just be like retreading stuff now. You know, I like
retreading. He literally said the same shit in the match. 5 more minutes. Didn't we already see that shit? We saw that already. He did the same exact shit, and he said no. Guess what he said the last time? No. It's the same shit. They didn't give us.
No, the match continued this time, so that's
they
different.
didn't. It wasn't a draw. It went to a finish.
It
was supposed to show.
The reason he said no was because he was like, "No, we're going to do this in front of Wembley Stadium. We're going to wait until there's a finish."
You got that one difference because you were at Wembley Stadium. What was his exact speech when he was laying on the fucking floor in the bottom turnbuckle? He says it could have went either way. It's a draw. It's the same fucking shit. Well, you just said he did it. It's already done.
Right, but this is so the difference being that MJF was put in MJF was put in a similar situation twice. The difference being his friendship and his relationship with Adam Cole changed so that his answer at the end, even though he reached the same conclusion, changed. It was, yes, it could have gone either way. Yes, it was a draw. This and the other thing. But his friendship for Adam Cole and he took the easy way out of taking the draw. Time limit draw, whatever. I can leave the first time. He took the easy way out. This time, he did. He's a babyface. Like, MJF is a babyface, and it's the most unbelievable, weirdest thing I could ever say in my life. MJF is a fucking babyface, and he's over.
But in a good way. Like, because he's still a dick. But now it's okay to cheer him. You know what I mean? Like,
you'll be talking about MJF if he wasn't a dick the entire time. No, he would be another fucking indie guy who's a dick. He has to be extra. That's what makes MJF great.
Right. Well, that's why I always say that he should re-sign with AEW and never go to WWE. Because he'll never be able to get away with the shit he gets away with in AEW or say the shit.
They'll ruin him in 1 week.
It'll be a watered down version. It'll be horrible. But, does anyone have anything they want to say in regards to the Adam Cole MJF match? Because Sam is definitely got a different opinion than I do.
Dude, the whole show was great, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Licensed music. Sting had Metallica again. Saraya had Queen. What the fuck? Like, this was all. He broke the bank for that fucking show.
The way Sting coming out to Seek and Destroy. Oh God, I could have died happy at that point.
Well,
that's
Sting,
like when
Rob. And how about Joker's Sting? I mean, yes. I love Joker.
I didn't know if we were going to get a Darby Allin mini movie before this one, and we did. And it was Sting dressed like Jack the Ripper. They were walking. That was the roadway. That was where the murders happened.
Yeah,
where the bodies were found.
Yeah,
they went to the location where Jack the Ripper's victims. Like, that was very cool to see. And then of course he pulls the thing off, and he's got one side's regular Sting and one half's Joker Sting.
I love how Sting, for his entire career, always botches a table spot.
He did.
In all of his perfection, he always botches a table spot, right? But no,
is it an actual botch if he always does it?
It's a botch because it didn't work. But
I'm joking.
But the table was
he stings, so he gets away with it.
That was a tough fucking table, dude. He went through it again. He's like, no. We're not dealing with this again. I'm going. He got back up. He climbed back up the stairs, got back up the turnbuckle, and jumped off the fucking thing again.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is he goes up the stairs, goes to the middle rope, walks into the middle of the ring, and then goes back through the middle rope because he's so fucking God. He's like, bro, I fucked it up. I got to change the attention. I'm going to do it anyway. And just landed right on Swerve. That shit was awesome. Fucking Sting to this day.
That coffin match was a lot of fun, man.
It was great.
I like they had Sting in the casket, and he stuck the bat out, so when Swerve slammed the lid, it hit the bat, and then he popped up like it was a horror movie. Like, good shit.
But definitely the MVP of that fucking match was Swerve.
Swerve's, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that guy an amazing.
He's amazing.
He's out of this world. It wasn't until AEW that I got to see that. I know he's been great on the indies, but that he's fucking awesome.
I feel like
put him top 5.
he's got to be set up like I usually when you have a match like this, it's a big match at Wembley to have with a legend, and you put him over like this in kind of one of these weirdo gimmick matches. I think he's set up now to try and challenge for either the TNT, the International, or even the World Championship at this point, because he's kind of proven himself like, hey, I'll work with these legends. I'll put him over in a goofy casket match. I want a real opportunity now. And I think he's been around enough. He did the thing with Keith Lee, whatever. This is now
Go back to Lucha Underground, the shit he did there.
Yeah, he's been fantastic for a while. There's a pro wrestling channel on Pluto TV that shows a lot of stuff from the West Coast, like Defy Wrestling, and PCW, Pacific Coast Wrestling, and Swerve and Darby Allin. There's a lot of footage of those guys, and I've watched a lot of Swerve's matches of, on the indies from that, and he just doesn't miss. The guy is fucking phenomenal. So I really, there should be a title reign in this guy's near future.
That side kick that he does is fucking sick. When he kicks you in the throat, it's like, perfect.
Wow. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think that him not being around in WWE is the main reason why Hit Row just didn't connect the second time?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. You can't. He was the centerpiece. Right? He could rap and he could wrestle. Yeah. The other ones can't do either.
Well, the reason
the booking didn't help either.
Well, that's true.
It always comes down to booking. You could put over a fucking headlock if that's what you saw somebody defeat somebody with every week for 10 weeks. The idea is you got to have good booking. Plus, the top rope doesn't help either, just in case. Get it? No? Tough crowd? All right.
Oh, you need Steve. Where were you with the sound effects on that one, man? This is a cool one. Speaking of music, I have to fangirl gush for a second. I was so excited to see my old friend PJ Farley, the bassist from Fozzy, live in front of 80,000 people at Wembley. That was outrageous because, first of all, everybody was doing Freddie Mercury tributes. The Young Bucks did Freddie Mercury outfit tributes, and Saraya came out to Queen, and then the big one was Jericho, who, of course, if you're in a band, how do you not say, hey, I'm going to have my band. How fucking cool is this? I'm going to have my band play my hit rock song in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium, and I'm going to walk to the ring and sing the song myself, and 80,000 people are going to sing along. That was the wildest shit. And he did the Queen thing. He did the Queen tribute first. And what was that? Was outrageous. Outrageous. He didn't even need to wrestle after. How did he wrestle after that?
Am I the only one? Like, outside of that, the band sounded great. But I think Jericho walking down to the ring and singing, he actually sounded like shit.
Well, I mean, it's hard to.
He always sounds like shit performing that song live.
Not when he. If he's like just standing there and he's not moving all around, it sounds fine. But when he's walking like,
bro, he's walking like 50 yards.
Not easy to do.
I know, but it just kind of took away from it.
His vocals, he's not, But besides, that was a hell of a moment.
But it was a good note. But when he performed it 2 nights earlier on the same night that he did the Bray Wyatt tribute in London, it sounded like shit when he sang it then too. I mean, I love Chris Jericho. I love Fozzy and everything, but Chris ain't the best singer in the world. The auto-tune did a lot of justice.
That fucking record is amazing. And besides,
it is.
That was a fucking 5-star match.
Will Ospreay is
Will Ospreay is number 1 on the list. Number 1.
And he's already talking about leaving New Japan when his contract is up at the end of the year and coming to AEW, which would be like phenomenal.
And fucking Chris Jericho looks like he's 30 in the ring. Yeah. He put on a fucking hell of a match.
There was
he always does.
Botches. No, he botches a few times, but that was zero botches.
But everybody.
But he's doing some of the best work of his career right now than some of the stuff in the past.
He got in shape.
Botch.
Which Botch?
Charles Botch.
He really lost. There was some criticism of Jericho, where he was like looking a little sloppy and put on weight and wasn't looking good. And I guess he had a health scare in England. What about a year ago? And he's really turned it around, man. He's in phenomenal shape. He looks good. He's in my line is, are you in better or worse shape than me? And he's in better shape than me. So he's doing pretty well. Plus he's fucking wrestling a guy like Will Ospreay. I assume Will Ospreay's probably 20 years younger than him, and you have to keep up with that. that guy, like one of the literally as Cheaaaaman said, the number one guy right now. And I'm putting, as a fan of a lot of the top guys, Kenny Omega, whoever, Will Ospreay is that next guy up for sure. He has to be. Like, it's just, he's got it all down. The music, the look, the way he talks. Then he gets out there and he can actually fucking wrestle. It's great. Like, it's the total package. I mean, not the total package.
Bro, Chris Jericho is 52 years old.
God bless him. That's amazing.
At 52, if I can walk straight,
yeah, right.
Get in a match with Will fucking Ospreay. Are you kidding me? And put on 5 stars? Holy shit!
Yeah, no, he's
talking about.
This is why he has to be consideration for the Mount Rushmore, without any question.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's incredible.
If he fixes his side titties, then we can put him on the Mount Rushmore. It's about side titties.
Sometimes it just happens, Chairman. I don't know. Listen, I know you got.
Sometimes age gets better. The best of you. It happens.
If all the money you have, you can't fix side tits. Come on. That's something that's important.
His wife likes them. You don't know.
His wife might like the moves. I even shamer
the walls of Jericho all he wants, but I'm pretty sure he's not enjoying the side tits.
Damn. See, that's the strategy. That's the strategy. He has the side tits so that he can get a better grip on the ankle when he's pulling the walls of Jericho.
Where do you think the lion tamer from? From his wife.
Yeah, he tamed that lion real good.
Nobody? No? All right, tough crowd.
I got it. Is silent on a show that he's been on, just saying.
Oh, yeah, so, where's Al?
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm being more of a fan today than anything else. You guys are doing an excellent job. It's just hard to jump in, but it's cool.
Oh no, it's a lot. Yeah,
you got to jump.
I'm entertained.
Don't be like that. You got to jump in.
No, it's
I got a little fuzzball right next to me playing with the lanyard, and I'm.
Oh, you got a cat. Cat or the
the little 2-month cat playing with it.
I guess Ryan is the lion tamer. Get it? No.
He's the lion thing. Yeah.
So what else we got? What do we think about Punk and Samoa Joe starting off the pay-per-view, opening it up?
I thought the match was great.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like that anybody can talk about after this fucking show once again is age stuff, when legitimately this was one of the best shows of the year, like WrestleMania quality fucking show from supposed second tier company.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't even want to get into it, to be honest, because I don't think give a shit. It's taking away from the show, and
I just don't think Joe looked fucking amazing.
Yes,
dude, he had the crowd in his hands. I think he put on probably the best performance of his fucking career.
Yep,
and I wish it had an ending. Who felt that Joe should have went over? I think Punk should have gave him the fucking title.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, knowing what we know now, yes.
Well, without that, I mean, he should have.
Even before that,
kept it.
Joe was gonna kill you, and he should have killed him.
Yeah. I know the
fucking match, and just at the end with that. I mean, listen, Punk is a draw. We all talked about it. Punk makes money. Punk is good on TV. He's good to tell a story. But if Joe went over there, that would have made Joe's career. That would have cemented it. They could have came back and had another thing. They could have started a whole shit where he ran in Chicago and made a big deal. They could have made
had Punk turn heel.
Let me ask you a question though. Wasn't the whole build up to the match the fact that Punk has never been able to beat Samoa Joe?
He beat him once at a pay-per-view last month or the month before.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He just beat him at AEW last pay-per-view. And
it was a roll-up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone loves fruit roll-ups. Everybody.
But
everybody.
That was why they ran it back, because it was like Joe was like, I'm not going to accept that you beat me with a roll-up, so let's have another match.
So let's go 30 minutes plus, and I'll beat you for 35 minutes, and then you just beat me the last 1 minute. Fantastic.
With the super finisher, the Pepsi plunge, the top rope pedigree.
Top pedigree. That it was basically just a fat flop falling. That's what that was.
I think it was a little bit more complex than that, but I take your point.
He second guessed it halfway. He got scared, and Samoa Joe's like, "I'll just throw myself off. You just land the way you want to land." That's exactly what happened.
He hasn't done it in 20 years, so yeah.
Whose fault?
That did look very awkward when you get that move.
My fault that he hasn't done it in 20 years. Practice the fucking move before you do it in Wembley Stadium.
I know,
right? I agreed with that. That's a good point.
Yeah, no, overall, I thought it was a good match. I think, if that was CM Punk's swan song, or if he's gone for 30 days or 60 days or whatever it is, hell of a note to go out on. CM Punk's got to go. I mean, who knows, man? I think
will we have the real championship this time?
God,
real.
Yeah. What if they were joking online? What if he vacated that title? And
it's
then
not the title.
They had another tournament. Exactly. Rick Deshanda, hello. Welcome, joining us from YouTube. And also, I assume, either from India or Pakistan. So, welcome.
Do you guys remember back in our time when NWO was around? Remember when Hulk Hogan spray painted the first time he did the NWO on the world title?
Yes.
And 2 days later, they released the WCW title with the NWO spray painted on it. And it is the most purchased world title of all time.
Yep.
Just so you're aware, guess what title started selling a lot more when CM Punk spray painted an X on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I knew as soon as he spray painted it that they were going to sell it with the spray paint on it.
That's it. Because we have the triple B, right?
Yep.
No one's getting that, right? That's custom. You can't get that. No one's buying the other one because no one's wearing it on TV.
Right.
It's the X. Guess what? We got another title to sell.
Now could you imagine how expensive? How expensive would it be to get an actual Burberry license on those belts?
Oh, it's very expensive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you just imagine going through the process of okay, their scarves are already expensive as shit. How much would it cost to make an entire belt to sell the one? I get it. One you can spend the money on, but to make a pallet of them or whatever.
That should be all. You know what? I'm going to get one. Hold on. I'm going to buy
it. I bet you, you know what? I bet you if you go to eBay right now, they do have triple B replicas because most of those belt people are in countries where something like copyright does not matter. So I've purchased many a bootleg title off of eBay and they're fine.
They will sell it until they get the cease and desist. And then they create a new website.
Yeah. But that's very interesting that it started selling with just the spray paint on it. And, as is tradition with spray painting the belts, the first draft of the spray paint always looks a little bit rough. They have to go back and touch it up. I thought the second time, because there was a time that when Luger won the belt and then the Giant famously took the rubbing alcohol and the rag and got the NWO off the belt.
That doesn't happen.
And then he won it again. And then Hogan beat Luger 2 days later or something the next day. And
I think it was a week.
Right way. It was a week. He re-sprayed it the right way. Yeah, I think it was right in the week.
There's no way that we knew that Luger was going to maintain the title with black jeans on in the middle of the ring. It's just not possible. He wasn't even in ring attire to be the world champion. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen.
Did he have a tan, though? Did he have a tan?
He has a walking tan.
Did he have a tan is the best question.
He injects the steroids, the tan automatically infuses melanin.
You talk about these belts. It honestly, think about the $1 Million Man, right? When he created the $1 Million Championship, right?
Oh, great! Now Steve's going to turn on his camera to show his fucking belt.
That was such an innovative thing because, and then put it into perspective of what if that was
hint.
We have the technology these days then where they put it on WWEshop.com. Holy shit. Can you imagine how many of those they would have sold back then?
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, I would look in that WCW magazine and they would have either Figures Inc. or whoever it was would have a page and it was it was like an order form. You would have to check it off and then you would have to with a pen. You would have to rip this page out of the magazine, fill it out in pen, and then either provide a money order or write your credit card number down on this order form and mail it in.
Right.
Good fucking luck. Holy shit.
I just sent it in.
Can you imagine telling somebody to do that nowadays?
They can't. They don't even know what a check is, but it's all right.
Or
So,
a check.
No, I'm talking writing their credit card number down and mailing it.
It's on your phone where it's easily stolen, but it's fine. So what's the next match? What we got? We got the tag team match. What do you guys think? 5-star, too long. What do you think? Shatter Machine over BTE Trigger. What you got?
I liked it. I was shocked that the Bucks didn't win because I thought that was the setup, right? It felt very much like it, but I guess there's more of a story to tell. They didn't shake hands at the end.
They got a pay-per-view next weekend, so
we do have another. Maybe they just go. Maybe you know what? Maybe they do a ladder match instead. I don't know, man.
Let's run it back and just do the same fucking match all over again. I can't wait to watch it.
Except the finish changes.
I do want to say this
for you.
Now, before you I'll put money on right now, Steve, that they do the exact same amount of false finishes on fucking Sunday that they just did this.
Oh man.
Here's what I will say too, though, which makes absolutely no fucking sense to me at all. That you just had the biggest show in your just about 5-year career, and you're not letting it settle in and marinate a little, and you have another pay-per-view a week later.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself a week to get people excited, interested, and invested in another pay-per-view in 5 days. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, to me, that makes no fucking sense at all. You should not be having another pay-per-view for at least 30 days.
Bro, do we agree on something? Holy shit.
At least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
I don't hate it. I mean, I get it. They need to make their bread and do a US show or whatever. I think Chicago, honestly, like, shout out to Chicago people, but I think that market is, they run it so much that now it's not special anymore. So all in, as much as cool as it is that it's in the same place every year in Chicago, it needs to fucking move. It needs to get out of there. Or all out, I suppose.
The total tally of false finishes in that match was 11.
All right, so
if they
they'll go 12.
You're going to go 12. Wow.
Minimum 11 on the next one.
Are you going to give him 10 and a half? Or are you going to give him 11? What's the line on this? Oh my God, dude. I don't know, man. I was not disappointed with this pay-per-view at all. I liked the there was a trios match. The Acclaim
great trios match.
The Acclaim beat the House of Black, which was great.
I think that the House of Black was gonna drop the titles. I didn't think so.
I didn't think
either.
I didn't think so either.
And I didn't expect the handover of the belts either from them, which I thought was cool. I like how they finally did the scissor celebration at the end. And by the way, we have not mentioned Miss Mercedes Moné featured in the crowd throughout the entire night. And from what Tony Khan said in the press conference afterwards, he basically said there is money on the table waiting for her when she's cleared and ready to go. She was still sitting in those stands with a full boot on her leg, so she's still not cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, that's why they didn't.
But that's a big deal seeing her on AEW television.
Oh, it definitely is. Big deal. Big deal.
Do we feel?
You think she gets a call from WWE?
Nah, no way. She's not gonna.
I think she sees potential in doing another feud with Saraya. At this point, the story's already been written.
I think the better story is Thunder Rosa coming back.
I can't wait for Thunder Rosa to come back.
Thunder Rosa coming back started some shit. You guys talk shit behind me, making it work. Go from there, and then Mercedes Moné does a run-in, ruins her shit, and they start a whole new program. Open the doors, elongate it for about a year or two, have a hell of a next year at Wembley.
Here was the thing.
Wait. So just for clarification,
who has the title for the year? Yeah.
Wait. Just for clarification, you're saying Saraya and Mercedes don't touch until Wembley Stadium. So 1 year from now.
Either that or Thunder's in there somehow, and for 1 year's time, they enter a program in, they go to Wembley next year.
I got to be honest, I don't hate the idea of them
I
just
don't
teasing,
I don't
it,
either.
teasing it for a year, but they don't actually touch.
Look at
I don't
Sabu
hate
and
the
Taz in
idea
ECW.
saying
They
that
didn't
the
touch for a year.
Thunder Rosa or whatever. I don't hate it being a triple threat match between them either.
No, because that would.
There's a TBS title for her to go after, so she can go after that for a good half of the year and then go on to the main.
The TBS title is useless ever since the what's her name lost the belt. It's fucking useless.
Cargill.
No one gives a fuck about. I don't even know her name.
That was Chris Statlander.
There it is. Amazing, amazing worker. But did you see her promo the other night? Holy shit! I went to sleep 3 times. 3 times I woke up after that promo.
She learned sign language to go along with this gimmick, which is kind of neat. Maybe hear me out here. She should do all of her promos in sign language.
No, because
that would be fun.
That would be more interesting than her talking.
Well, that's what I'm getting.
Sign language is not that good, but though, just for the record.
Oh, I was gonna ask. See, I know I'm not a sign language person. Kat is our sign language expert.
Kat is our resident expert.
It sounds bad. It sounds really bad to say this, so forgive me, guys. I do not mean this as an insult when I say this, but she signs like a hearing person. It's not good.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense then. Okay.
That's actually a compliment because
I'm sorry, that is great.
Fucking promos are worse than that.
But you're not supposed to. If you're gonna learn, you have to learn how to be able to communicate with deaf people. I've seen this. Deaf people do not understand what she's signing.
Really?
And on that note, we are at the top of the hour.
All right, so we have I have to make a request for next week. I need a video of Chris Statlander doing sign language that Kat can then show us.
I'll get it.
Why?
And tear apart.
Yeah, I need. Right, I need.
We need blow by blow.
I am very fond of Chris. I don't know her personally. I know her boyfriend Caleb Conley very well. I have nothing bad to say about Chris Statlander, except if she does not know how to do sign language, then maybe if we have somebody on here who's a professional.
No, you should say how bad her promos are because.
No, let me just reiterate one thing.
Kat, give me one. I'm sorry. Bret Hart's first promo, what is it, Stampede? And he wanted the belt. He literally says, "I want my belt. I gotta get my belt back." That was the fucking promo, the worst shit ever. Or he literally just said out loud what he thought he said. He got nothing out of it, nothing. He's better than Chris Statlander at that time, and he became the greatest ever. The fucking is.
We're here with Jumpin' Jeff Farmer.
He should never touch a microphone again, ever in her career. Please, just go to the ring with your alien gimmick and figure this shit out.
I don't like that they stopped doing the alien thing.
I thought that sucked. I hated the alien gimmick.
I wanted it to be.
Reiterate one thing on the sign language part. Like if you look at Dolph Ziggler, whenever Dolph Ziggler does sign language, he does it right. When you looked at like the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, they're doing it right. The girl can't talk. The girl can't sign. Sorry.
When you get the video, get it to me, and I can share it on my screen.
Alien gimmick.
Yeah,
I'll get an MP4 and we'll hook you up and we'll have a full analysis next week.
And for me,
I'll do a side by side of what she should be signing and what it.
Oh,
I have
perfect.
no problem
All right.
with
There we go. Even better.
In regards to Sam's comments, it like I compare it to Lana, where Lana was so much better as using the fake Russian accent than her real voice.
That's unbelievable.
Right?
Oh, so true.
Yeah, but also
it is so true though.
Lana's also fucking amazing. So that's
Channeled her Bridget Nielsen. What can I tell you?
Is that why they put her with Bobby Lashley? They thought he was Flavor Flav?
Oh Jesus! I try to forget about that.
I forgot all about that.
We all did.
That was in Hartford, Connecticut.
If they could have somebody just dub over Bobby Lashley's voice, he would be the best of all time.
Yeah, he's got his eyebrows tattooed on, so he's halfway there. That stupid Bobby Lashley Lana segment where like the lesbian girl came out and all these other people. That was in Hartford. It was down the street from my house, about 10 minutes. I refused to buy a ticket. I was like, "There's no."
I remember you saying that.
I said, "There's no way I'm buying a ticket to this fucking show." And then after it happened, I said, "This is why." I pointed at the TV and I was like, "That's why I did not buy a ticket." This that was the 11. It was it's a 3-hour Raw. It was the run over. It was 11 o'clock, and they're trying to convince us that Lana, who's been married to Miro for the last 5 years, is fucking Bobby Lashley.
But hey, at least I got to see Liv Morgan again. That was pretty good.
No, I mean, hey, you know what? No complaints about seeing Liv Morgan. I don't want to see her wrestle, but you should see her box.
Hi.
That was for Jerry Lawler, who showed up on Raw on Monday.
At least he's in good health, right?
Oh, thank God. Somebody bubble wrap that fucking guy. Holy shit.
I just want to replay this. I don't want to see her wrestle, but I want to see her box.
She can make a good manager.
I'm glad Chairman enjoys jokes.
All right. Well, on that note,
I guess we should probably bang it up. Oh my God,
that's the official note.
Oh man, well, thank you guys for joining us for another edition of
full panel, Steve.
I love when it's like this. This is very cool. It's chaotic and nobody gets in a word edgewise, and it's probably fucking atrocious for you guys to listen to at home, but I love it. This is a lot of fun.
I think it's a great conversation.
Well, that's the thing. It's a great conversation. I don't know how much people actually follow.
Well, look on the bright side. At least we're not all in the same room, because then it would be like Jerry Springer and be fucking throwing chairs at each other.
Well,
I don't know.
Steve, get it? Jerry Springer? Steve? No? All right, tough crowd.
This fucking guy. Oh my God! All right, well we gotta go. Oh my God! Ryan,
keep playing that shit. I'll see you soon.
This is why Ryan will permanently remain an intern.
Yo, they're gonna
boss man asked for something. I acquiesced. I did it.
They're gonna have to fight it out.
A monster.
Either Madden or 2K, WWE 2K, they're going to have to fight it out after all this. All right, we should probably pack it up for this week. Next week, I would encourage you to watch the stream on Twitch or YouTube or somewhere for the sign language segment. Other than that, you can probably listen to it. Well, unless you're hearing impaired, then you're really... You're really
then you're gonna have a hard time.
I don't know what you're doing. Like, I can't imagine this show with closed captions. Holy shit!
For $7, we can get Chris Stanlander to fuck it up like you did a lot
on Cameo. I'm gonna get.
You want to pay the $7?
What if we got a cameo of Chris Statlander signing to you, and then you
signing the whole podcast, the closed caption?
I'd pay.
And throughout the podcast, Cat just is like that. You did it wrong. No, wrong.
Oh, yes, we could put Kat in the corner and she could sign like the concerts.
That's what.
Cat versus
Chris. Before. That's okay.
Cat versus Chris.
Yeah,
she'll do better than that fake sign language, and the guy got on next to the president or something, right?
Oh, Mandela's
feud. It was Mike de Blasio in New York.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nelson Mandela's funeral. They had a guy that didn't know sign language to do it. Anyway, sign language segment next week. You should check out.
In that girl's defense, she signed BSL. She did not sign American Sign Language.
Oh, all right. So she signed something else.
That's what the problem was there.
All right. I thought she just.
Okay.
And she's still.
I thought there was someone who was completely just signing nonsense.
It wasn't gibberish. It was the wrong language. She was translating it.
Goodness gracious.
And now we know.
We're learning so much.
500 different versions of sign language.
Right. And she's still more over than Chris Statlander. That's the point.
Yes.
Don't worry. If you only know this, it's okay.
Check the video next week. We're on twitch.tv/war report. That's all one word, WARREPORT, or youtube.com. You type in tag me a date, no spaces. It's all one word. You'll get the Tag Me a Date channel where you can subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we go live. Aside from YouTube and Twitch, we're also on a bunch of social media, all of them at Tag Me a Date. That's Tag Me a Date, one word, no spaces. We're on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. I don't know where else. We're on Steve's LinkedIn. We go live a lot of places. Facebook. Oh, we're on Facebook as well. Check out the Facebook group.
Box.
And definitely, you can check the archives of the old shows if you want to check those out. If you want to subscribe to the audio podcast instead of the video podcast, you're going to miss out on the sign language thing next week. But, that's fine. Go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to do. Type in Tag Me a Date or The War Report, and it will come up. If you type in The War Report, there are multiple wrestling podcasts called The War Report. You're going to see our icon. You'll see our graphic. It'll say Tag Me a Date on there. The description will say Steve's name or my name or something. You're going to know based on the graphic and the description that it's ours and not
we are the original. Fuck those guys.
Exactly. And we, I hate to be that guy, but we are the original ones, and they could have done like 3 seconds worth of Googling to see that there was already a show with the same name.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, I have not listened to them yet. I'm sure they're very nice people, but also, fall in a river. Anyway, that I think that does it for this week. These late night shows tend to go over an hour because we just have, we're just here. So yeah, I mean, if your
kids awake, I'm good.
Well, see, you're all set. I don't. Yeah, I just have to make sure that my cats don't like rip something apart in the background here. That's all I got to do. But yeah, these shows, going over an hour now, which is fun. So that's for you viewers. You get a little bonus, in your lives. But with all that said, we'll be back next week for another edition of the War Report. We are no longer at our 6 p.m. time. We are now at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Adjust your clocks accordingly, man. And we'll be streaming on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and all kind, Twitter and everywhere else. Steve's LinkedIn. And next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And who knows what we'll be talking about. We talk about WWE stuff. We talking about AEW stuff. Hopefully nobody else passes away. That would be just, we all need a break from that. So hopefully everybody has a good week and we're all back in one piece for the next edition of the War Report. Once again, just thoughts go out to the families of Terry Funk and Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, because legitimate superstars and legends in their own time and of their own time, and it was a big loss to the wrestling community. So to a modern legend and just a classic legend, both unfortunately gone, one a little more untimely than the other. So just keep those people in your thoughts this week, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for another edition of the War Report. Have a nice week.